Hello. Today we'll be talking about gospel music. We'll be talking to the founder of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame, a filmmaker, author, and so much more. Monica Butler is my guest today on The Bernie Hayes Show. Welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes, and my guest is Monica Butler. Ms. Butler, how are you?
How are you? I am so happy to be here with you today.
Oh, so good to see you here. You went in front of that big poster, you announced the Gospel Music Hall of Fame.
Gospel Music Hall of Fame of Missouri, right here
Wonderful.
In St. Louis, Missouri.
When will they be looking forward to? What's the target date on that?
We're looking at 2024. Right now, our focus is to bring awareness to what we're trying to do. Well, I wouldn't say trying to do, that we're going to do.
That you're doing. Yeah.
That we're doing right here in this state. And so we are just excited about having the Gospel Music Hall of Fame here in Missouri.
Where will it be located?
It will be in the area that they call Holy Corners. And it's a historic area, and it's right in the Central West End, 500 North Kings Highway. Bernie, this used to be the old Second Baptist Church.
It's a beautiful, beautiful, large place. I mean, it looked like it's ready to open right now. I mean, it's so wonderful. So many wonderful things going on there.
You know, I always brag about structures in St. Louis and old buildings and old churches and old schools. You know, they hold so much value. So to try to preserve this church and not lose it, it's been vacant for over 2 decades. And so the structure, as you can see, it was made well because it's still just so beautiful. And so we're trying to make this, or going to make this, or we're making this the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. And we're excited about it. You know, back in the day, we used to have a lot of gospel concerts there. A church with Bishop Wide-Eye Greenlee, Higher Heights Church used to have services there. And this minister, who was actually the pastor of the church, opened it up for the first African-American gospel concert, and that was with the O'Neill twins and the Interfaith Choir. So that's when that movement just started happening. So many people started having concerts there. We brought in national artists like Tremaine Hawkins, John P. Key, and so many others back then.
Yeah, I see the O'Neill twins right there on your shoulder.
That's right.
Right under Dr. Dorsey.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Beautiful.
You know, I ride on them because as a child, my mother sang with the Interfaith Choir and the O'Neill twins. And when they did the documentary film Save Man Somebody with Thomas A. Dorsey, Zella Jackson Price, the Barrett sisters, and our own mother of gospel music, Willie Mae Ford Smith, you know, I was there. I was sitting right there in the audience with my mother keeping her eyes on me. I was probably about 15 years old, but I understood what was happening.
Well,
and so now too. Just to keep this going is so important to me.
Yeah, I was there with the Bill and Virginia White. We were all there together.
That's right. That's right.
That's beautiful.
Bill and Virginia White with KRRL and my godmother, Ruby Somerville Dixon, along with my other godmother, Zella Jackson Price. They molded me into this industry, you know, along with Merdine Gales. You know, I have to give Merdine credit as well because without her, I wouldn't be into television as much as I am.
And Dello Thethrick.
And I cannot forget Dello Thethrick.
You got to talk about
You know,
Dello.
I have to talk about him. You know, I was a member of Progressive Baptist Church, and Dello was the minister of music there at the time. And Dello used to have us doing all these plays, and you know, I remember him having me in a little scene called Boggles, Bangles, and Bees. And you know, I just remember those days. You know, and him teaching us proper diction in singing, and he still does that to this day. He's at Shalom Church, City of Peace now as the minister of music, but he's a phenomenal man, and he will be in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame.
What's happening December the 10th?
December the 10th. You know, Bernie, I am excited about just I think since the last time we talked, I have merged some awesome collaborations to help bring awareness to the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. One is with the Muni, with Kofi Coleman. He allowed us to be there for the entire week of the Color Purple and just talk to people about Gospel Music Hall of Fame coming and having some gospel music being sung. And then we merged a partnership with the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. We had Gospel Day at Busch Stadium. And now we have a wonderful partnership with the Missouri History Museum. And on December 10th, we're going to have a one-day gospel fest, which is going to feature Stuart Stiles and Jewel and Converted, the Community Gospel Choir, and my own church, Shalom Church City of Peace Choir, the Stella nominated choir.
Wow, okay. And some of the featured guests will be who?
Okay, some of the other guests will be Mary Beth Gentry, Ethel
Dr.
Foster, and Zella Jackson Price.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have a conversation with the legends. Mr. Hayes, I wish we could have you there doing that interview at that time.
Well, there's another function I'll be at on
yes,
December 10th.
yes,
too,
and congratulations on all that you're doing.
Yes.
I know moving into your new venue is going to be exciting as well.
Yeah, but I'll be turning over the reins of the National Blues Museum on December 10th to my deputy, Aaron Simon. Tell us about how can we get tickets, or is it a free concert?
So this event at the History Museum is free and open to the public.
Wow.
The History Museum is featuring right now the sound of St. Louis, and talk about all the artists from Nelly to David Peaston, Willie Mae Ford Smith, Miles Davis and things of that sort. So they have that there at the History Museum. So each of those genres of music, they're recognizing a day for this. So they had a day where they had a blues fest, there at the museum. So this day is just recognizing gospel music. So this is the one-day gospel fest. But the great thing about this day, we're also going to be screening the movie Say Amen Somebody. So we'll be premiering that so that you can come out and see it. If you haven't seen Say Amen Somebody, you should come out and know your history of gospel music, at least a little bit of it.
And here's Zella sing I Am His Child.
Yes, yes.
She's going to really tear that up,
Absolutely. Zella does a great job. The Barrett sister out of Chicago does a fantabulous job.
Yeah.
And then our own Willie Mae Ford Smith and the Interfaith Choir. I mean, you just enjoy it. If you love gospel music, you will love this documentary of the history of gospel music, Say Amen Somebody.
And Dr. Dorsey talks in this particular film. He talks about himself.
Absolutely.
He talks about this wonderful song that will live forever.
Precious Lord, take my hand.
Lord, yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so many people, all genres, sing this song. Churches. I've even gone to an Asian church, and they were singing "Precious Lord, Take My Hand," and I'm like, wow, But it has crossed so many, and a lot of people don't even know who wrote the song. Yeah. So we have to make sure that we remind people of our history and preserve what we have in gospel.
Once again, tell us when the concert will be and where.
This will be at the Missouri History Museum in Forest Park. So you don't want to miss it. It's Saturday, December 10th. And we start at 12 noon and we end at 6 p.m. So it's not an all-day event, but it is definitely an event that you don't want to miss. So if you just want to come stick your head in and listen to some great gospel music, or come during the time when we actually showing the film, which will start about 1:30. And we welcome you, free and open to the public. Please come out and be with us and enjoy this one-day gospel fest at the History Museum.
And that's in Lindell and DeBoliver.
Lindell and DeBoliver, Forest Park.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. So much history there, too. So many wonderful things going on. I'm talking to Monica Butler. She is the founder of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame, and it's soon to be opening, hopefully next year. And it's a wonderful, wonderful edifice, a wonderful place to be, and so many other things going on with the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. And we're at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. The Reverend Rice has been serving people for more than 50 years through the New Life Evangelistic Center. And we'll be right back with Monica Butler after this.
Daily New Life Evangelistic Center is sending out search and rescue teams. Yes, they're going into the highways and byways, seeking out the lost, as Jesus told us to do. They're doing it in your behalf. And that's why it's so important you see why it's that you need to share at this particular time, why you need to get beyond yourself, why you need to share, and perhaps even just send a gift on behalf of a loved one and let us know that that's what the gift is being done so we can contact them and let them know that you have done that. But please, we must hear that the Lord is desiring for us to be the answer to so many people that are hurting and in need at this time. Government is doing a better and better job of shoving the poor and needy out of sight and out of mind, but they are there. More people hurting than ever before. And that's why we need your help as we go out to seek and save those that are hurting, providing emergency supplies for them, and an opportunity to get off the streets and come into residential living programs, safe houses. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine how your Christmas season would be if you woke up to the sounds of bombs, and explosions, and gunfire outside your window. That's the reality for so many people in Ukraine. This holiday season is going to be one of the most difficult because of critical infrastructure that's been blown up by Russians. You can make a difference in the lives of people in Ukraine today by partnering alongside New Life Evangelistic Center. We are working alongside churches that are on the front lines of this critical, historical war. You can make a difference by supporting them through the work of New Life Evangelistic Center. Ukrainians need you now. Please dedicate prayer and your gifts to the people of Ukraine. They need hope. You can extend that hope today by partnering with New Life.
Welcome back. My guest is Monica Butler. Monica is not only the founder of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame, but she's also a filmmaker. Monica, tell us about your filmmaking industry and the Butler Group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the Butler Group is a full multimedia production company.
Mm-hmm.
And this all started right here in St. Louis. I used to work at Double Helix and Public Access Channel. And I remember one day when Merdine Gales had to leave town. And she said, Monica, I need you to sit in on my show for me. And I said, okay. And so I did it. And I got excited. I think I got the bug. So I actually, pursued my career in film and radio. And I moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I attended Southern University and LSU in mass communications and social work. So with that being said, Merdine, my mom, and Zella and Ruby Somerville Dixon all pushed me to go to the gospel music convention. And that was with the Thomas Dorsey Convention and also the James Cleveland Convention.
Sure.
So as I started attending those conventions, I was getting more into the industry. And so the more I got into the industry, I started, watching BET, the Black Entertainment Television Network. And back then they had this guy by the name of Donnie Simpson. Donnie Simpson did all the videos of the music and things of that. So I said, we need something like that in gospel. We just don't have enough gospel videos, So with that being said, Mr. Hayes, I am one that don't let a lot of grass grow up under my feet. If I want to do something, I go after it, And so I started my own gospel video show there at Double Helix. It was called Lift Every Voice. And then they start airing a Lift Every Voice on BET, and it's just, we start playing gospel music videos on television across the country. And so I was excited about that. So then Merdine connected me with Dr. Bobby Jones Gospel, of course with BET, and I started being production coordinator and producing Bobby Jones Gospel for BET. So working with BET, the Word Television Networks, also the Stella Awards, producing the Stella Awards, working with that project, kind of molded me into the industry. And so from there, Mr. Hayes, when I tell you, life can do what it does, but it's all being in the right place at the right time. I got a call and asked me to come to Louisiana to shoot a movie called Mama, I Wanna Sing. And it was a play back in the day, you know. So this particular play featured, Sierra, Fred Hammond, Smokey Norfolk, and if you haven't seen it, you should see it. Mama, I Wanna Sing, a stage play brought to film. And so I actually at that time, it was being shot in Louisiana. I started getting a lot of calls from friends saying, well, how can I get on? How can I be a part of this industry in film? I have an interest. And so I kind of made some connections, and I opened up my own production company in Louisiana. And that was in 2008. So that kind of started me into the industry, and I started working on major films like Jurassic World, The Butler, John Wick films, so many other films that people have seen and are that are recognizable. And so with that being said, that launched my production company. And I am always for the underdog, meaning I like to create a platform for people to be able to pursue what their desire is in film production. So I would help a lot of people get trained, and start working the cameras, behind the scene, acting, all of it, from wardrobe to makeup, just every genre of film production. I assisted with helping people to learn and understand that craft and actually come on a film set and work. So to this day, now I'm back here in St. Louis. I still have my production company, and I'm doing the exact same thing. But my passion, Mr. Hayes, right now is what we do with youth. And coming back to St. Louis, I wasn't here doing the Michael Brown situation, but I wanted to be here. I just felt like maybe if I was in St. Louis, I could do some more with youth and help to keep these young people from doing crazy things, you know. And so I came back and I started Film Camp USA. And it's an 8-week camp that we run in the summertime. And during those 8 weeks, we're making a movie with the youth and teaching them how to be the masters of their own stories. So for me, within that course of time, we're doing crime prevention, because we're keeping them away from crime and actually teaching them a skill that can be transferable in their life. So we're very proud of that. It's an 8-week camp. It runs in June and July. And then at the end of the camp, we have a big red carpet premiere of what they did over the summer, inviting their parents and their relatives to come and see what they done. And last year, it was held at the Chase Park Plaza. And we packed the place, and it was a beautiful event. You would have thought these kids were in Hollywood, rolling out the red carpet. And this year, we partnered with UMSL. And so we were at the Two Hill Auditorium with our red carpet event. So even though I'm a television and film producer, I am the type of person that likes to open up the door for others to have an opportunity to get into this industry.
And as God said, how can we reach you, Monica Butler, and how can we reach your group?
Absolutely. So the Butler Group has a production office downtown in the city of St. Louis, 301 Memorial. Our telephone number is 314-571-9706. And they can go to our website, and that's thebutlergroup.media, thebutlergroup.media.
This is wonderful. So many things we have in common, too. At Double Helix, I was at Double Helix, Channel 24 and 25.
Yes.
Yeah, when Donna Butler was there.
Donna Brooks.
Not Donna Brooks, I meant Donna Brooks, yes. And it was so thrilling to work at those different channels. And Double Helix was a wonderful company, still running KDHX radio.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we also have similarities because I was a disc jockey in Louisiana, in Alexandria, Louisiana at one time. So.
Wow.
And you got your big start there in Louisiana. It's just a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
But once again, the National I'm sorry, the Gospel Music Hall of Fame
of Missouri
of Missouri is going to be opening when, you think?
in 2024.
And where it's going to be located again?
500 North Kings Highway in the Central West End in a historic district called Holy Corners.
I want to come back and ask you, we're going to take another break very soon, but I want to come and ask you why you decided to have a Gospel Music Hall of Fame. What was the inspiration and some of the content that would be in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame? So get those questions ready for me, okay?
Absolutely.
And those answers for me, because that's one of the questions I want to take. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you for your support also for the New Life Evangelistic Center. You had no hesitation, no qualms at all about coming by here on a cold, wintry morning and talk about the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. In fact, this is your second visit with us.
Absolutely.
And I really, really appreciate it.
I would come anytime.
And things have been really progressing for you, and I sincerely hope that, well, I don't hope, I know that it's going to be a very successful adventure. We'll be right back with Monica Butler after this.
As we celebrate 50 years of God's faithfulness, how I thank God for all the years that we've been able to work side by side with Bernie Hayes. What a blessing this man has been, and what a blessing all of you all have been as you've continued to partner with New Life Evangelistic Center so we can feed the hungry, shelter the homeless, reach out and be a family to those that have no family at all. Now, as we're celebrating 50 years of God's faithfulness, I'm asking you to pray that we can get back into 1411 Locust at this particular moment. It was such a hideous crime when rich folks move in the neighborhood, shut that building down and put the homeless on the street. So many are suffering out there. Now, if you'd like myself or my grandson, Chris Aaron, to come and share with your church or business or group, please call us at 314-421-302. Yes, we're celebrating 50 years of God's faithfulness, thanking God for Bernie Hayes and all of his supporters and all of you that have been praying. The door's open now. We want to move into 1411 Locust. We've got to complete the work. Through your prayers, through your involvement, we can make a difference. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri.
Today's history subject is the Reverend James Cleveland, gospel music legend James Cleveland, born December the 5th, 1931 in Chicago. He sang as a boy, soprano at the Pilgrim Baptist Church, where the music program was headed by Dr. Thomas Dorsey, who many consider the father of modern gospel music. In 1950, Cleveland joined the group known as the Gospel Heirs. Cleveland's first runaway hit, Peace Be Still, in 1962 on the Savoy record label, sold nearly 1 million copies among a largely African-American audience without promotion. James Cleveland became an ordained minister in the early 1960s, and in 1969, he founded the Southern California Community Choir. He also founded the Cornerstone Institutional Baptist Church in Los Angeles, California in 1970, where he served as pastor. Cleveland sponsored an annual gospel music convention, which for the first time brought together the best gospel performers in the nation on the same stage. The Gospel Music of America Workshop remains an institution to this genre. Reverend James Cleveland wrote several songs and recorded dozens of albums. He died of heart failure, February the 9th, 1991, in Culver City, California. James Cleveland.
John 11, verses 25 and 26.
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die.
And welcome back. My guest is Monica Butler, the founder of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Ms. Butler, how did you come up with the concept of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame? Why did you think there was a need?
Well, you know, it's long overdue. And one day I had just moved back to St. Louis, and I was looking for a place to house my film production facility. And I saw that there was a building on sale on Kings Highway. It used to be the old Reliance Auto Parts place. So I was standing there at the old Reliance place and waiting on my group, and we all went inside and toured the facility. So as we were leaving and having conversation about, is this a place that we would that would work for my production company, I looked across the street at that beautiful red church, which is at 500 North Kings Highway. So I started telling the group, hey, I remember when we used to have concerts there, and man, that would be an awesome Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Don't know why I said it, but when I said it, it resonated with me. And so I grew up I went to Progressive Baptist Church, but I also grew up in New Bethlehem Baptist Church with Minister Hosea Gales. And so I also went to church with young ladies by the name of Yolanda Yancey which is Committeewoman Yolanda Yancey in the 18th Ward. Lynn Woods. Lynn Woods has been known all across the country in gospel music with the Urban Network and Inspire Lives Foundation, and also Wanda Combs. So 4 young ladies, we all came together and decided we should open up this Gospel Music Hall of Fame. So we didn't stop there. We started calling Mary Beth Gentry, Delo Thetford, Zella Jackson Price, Ruth Latchison before she passed away, rest her soul, Michael Latchison. I made a call to Bernie Hayes. You know, some things you just can't do without calling certain people to say, listen, this is what my thoughts are, what do you think, and do I have your support? And everybody unanimously said that they support what we're trying to do. So that's kind of how it all came about, and the support is still flowing in.
Oh, it's God-given, that's why. Tell us some of the people who will be featured in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame.
Well, some of our legends, definitely, but just for our local, Mary Beth Gentry, Delo Thetford, Zella Jackson Price, of course you will see Willie Mae Ford Smith, Thomas Dorsey, and things of that sort. When you walk into the sanctuary, one of the ideas that I have, I want it to still feel churchy. So I want to set some figures like statues in the pews. Like, say, for instance, you could walk inside and sit next to Mahalia Jackson and put on a headset and listen to her sing to you. You know, you could sit next to Andre Crouch and hear his songs, you know, and things of that sort. And so instead of us also having the Hollywood Walk of Fame, we're going to have the Walk of Faith. And we're going to have stars on the ground where you can come and actually see the names of some of our legends that deserve to have a walk of faith there at the museum. You'll also be able to take a QR code, take your phone and hit the QR code and listen to their favorite gospel song or things of that sort. If you just want to do something in the memory of a loved one that have passed away and you want to get a brick or a star or a bird, you know, we're opening up the door for people to be able to do that. But because I'm a television and film producer, this will also not only be a museum, a research center, and an entertainment facility for our gospel music. We will also have a state-of-the-art soundstage studio inside the facility where you can come and record and video your production, and we can go live across the country. I have partnerships with London, with the International Gospel Music Summit. I have partnerships in Africa with Nelson Mandela University. So we're not just going to be here in the state of Missouri just as a structure. We're going to reach the world with what we're doing and have that 3D animation where you can actually come in and be able to virtually tour the facility if you're not here in the state of Missouri.
That's great. Before we run out of time now, tell us about what's happening again on December the 10th.
December the 10th, 2022 at the Missouri History Museum. It's One Day Gospel Fest. That is at 5700 Lindell Boulevard. And it's going to feature our own, a conversation with the legends, Zella Jackson Price, Ethel Foster, Dr. Mary Beth Gentry, and we also will have a film screening of the movie Say Amen Somebody. So if you haven't seen that, you need to come out and see it that day. With also musical artists, Stuart Stiles, Jewel and Converted, the Community Gospel Choir, and none other than Shalom Church City of Peace Gospel Choir.
We're out of time. That is so beautiful, so wonderful to see you. So thankful for you coming by today, Monica Butler of the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Thank you so much. Good luck to all of you, and I know it's going to be successful. Have a great day, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center. Reverend Larry Rice, we're at 2428 Woodson Road at Overland, Missouri. And if you're concerned about those in need and homeless, bring out some blankets or coats or something that they can need. 2428 Woodson Road, Overland, Missouri, 63114. I'm Bernie Hayes. Take care of yourselves.